I was not there, check the record. Wait now. I was not there.
To the voices of the people.
We are suffering. This suffering is too much. It's too much. Look at the students. There's no job. They finish school. There's no job for them.
We analyze the undercurrents, expose the intrigues, and break down the narratives that define our democracy. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki delivering razor-sharp analysis, and Ebuka Franklin and Chisom on the question wheel, driving the conversation. We bring you the most compelling discussions on governance, policies, and power plays. Stay informed, stay engaged, stay ahead. The Polity, every weekdays at 9:15 a.m. Exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha.
So it was a very eventful weekend. Morocco opened the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations with a 2-0 win over Comoros. Frank and Tony, I'm pretty sure that you both saw that match. And of course, over the weekend, we also had the release of the remaining 130 abducted Niger State students. Now, a little backstory to that. Sometime in November, I think it was on November 10 precisely, about 300 students, including staff, were abducted from a Catholic school in Niger State, St. Mary's Primary and Secondary School, Papiri, Niger State. After a couple of days, we heard about 50 of them escaped, and then 100 were later released. The report has it that they were released. Some reports say they were let go by the bandits. However, this happened, 100 students came back first after the first set of 50 or 52, and now over the weekend, 130 of them also returned. The cost of this we are yet to know, but it's quite cheering news, especially as we are about to celebrate Christmas. Good morning to you and welcome to the Polity. It's a beautiful Monday morning. 3 days till the big day. I just hope that it gets to come and everyone would eventually rest. My name is Chisom Chinedu. Franklin Ebuka is here. Good morning, Frank.
Yes, good morning, Chisom. Good morning to everybody listening to us. Of course, few days to Christmas, and all these but everything is going to be over. Those who have decided to increase sufferings on Nigerians by increasing the transport fare for no good reason, of course, very soon everybody gets now, on the other side of it, of course, Anambra State has been hosting events. The 30 December, not 30 December, onward December event. Several of them. I think on Sunday was a kind of a Christmas carol where plenty of gospel artists were there. Judenam, just to mention the Buchi, mentioned that they were there at the Alex Ekweme Square in Oka, where the event was held. And somewhere in Enugu State, they had 2 December events. One headlined by Fino Fino, and another one held by Kula Boy. But guess what? Despite the fact that Kula Boy raised some concerns about how close the 2 events were, he still had a stellar crowd at his show, which was held at Obala Square. So I must say that some state governments have been able to put us in the middle of Christmas, and we're hoping that we'll now find a way to have money in our pocket to make the Christmas very reasonable.
Speaking about that, here in Onitsha Metropolis, just beside ABS, did you see what's happening there? The decoration by the mayor of Onitsha North.
Yes.
He's not taking it lightly. He's being serious about this whole Dirty December thingy. And of course, yesterday, I think they had a children's event. The fireworks were massive. I had to make a video. I was like, this is my view of Onitsha. The Onitsha people said is dead to entertainment this Sunday night. I mean, it was quite refreshing to see.
And guess what? Because I don't want to go this very well, but the issue of decoration, I think decorations have seen in Onitsha this time around far outweighs what I've seen in Oka. Whether taken up by government officials or by individuals or by corporate bodies, I haven't seen that in Oka. Like that's one too at Dangerous Roundabout too, which was also undertaken by a corporate body.
Yeah.
So I can say that in terms of trying to beautify the environment to reflect the season, what I've seen not just so far, I think I think it far outweighs what we've seen in Oka so far. So at this point in time, let's see how that Christmas get into us so that we'll be able to celebrate the main reason for the season.
Are you referring to that decoration?
No. The one in Oka wasn't. It was something that a market man chose to do for his on his own.
Oh.
Government wasn't connected to it in any way. Just a market person felt I need to do something in support of Christmas to express how he felt. So that was why he went on to put up that thing. He put up, he put on at a cocker roundabout. But guess what? When social media went a buzz, it was pulled down. But government had no hand in that decoration.
It's very good you put out that statement because where people have been interpreting it as something probably a bad contract did for the government, and honestly, it was quite a sight. But of course, we're moving on from all of that now. Dr. Tony Olisa Mbeki is here with us. Good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Chisom. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, the good people of Southeast. Good morning, Anambra. Good morning, Indonesia. Good morning, Indosimo. Good morning, everyone under the reach of our voice. It's always a pleasure to be here. Just as we are talking about December 25th of December, that's the December day. I know many will tell you that it comes with a lot of things. Remember, a day following December is Boxing Day. You have to show love to somebody, put something in a box, whether the culture is foreign or not foreign. It is one thing that has to do with humanity. It's not about where the culture comes from. The most important thing is the implication, the content. Does it affect humanity in any way? It does. And one will tell you that so many religions will tell you that there is no date that is specifically written anywhere that Christ was born, but we decided to choose 25th. And as it was done during the Roman Empire, it was a day for different idol worships. But then it was one emperor that said, no, instead of this idol worship, we want to use this very day to commemorate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. Since then, it has been a global event. So it's just coming close. But here in Nigeria, here in Southeast, here in Anambra State, everybody is trying to turn up. Some people feel that they have not been able to make it January to October, November, and that December period becomes only opportunity. And that's why you see everybody rushing from one place to the other, from pillar to post, trying to turn up. And somebody was telling me that keke now from main market to Pond Junction is 1,000 naira, and I said, where?
From main market to DMGS here is 500.
You can imagine that. So what it means that the keke man from main market to Pond Junction, he makes 6,000, and if he goes back again, he makes 12,000. By the time he runs a trip, he will make over 100,000 in a day. That's it.
We know 100,000 is exaggerated.
Check it.
Do you know my problem?
If you run 15 trips, it's about 100,000.
Do you know my problem? My problem is this. I'm trying to muster all the energy in my body to say, because I am very afraid this very morning. I don't have any energy. But what actually?
The dirty December got into you?
No,
not actually.
December not actually. No. I had been doing so much work that.
Oh no, I remember. Yeah.
So the thing is, what actually breaks my heart is that each time I see the common man, talk about Nigeria, and they heap all the blames on government. Those people who are in power, they are the reason why we are the way we are. They are the reason why we are not progressing. They are the reason why we are suffering. But you have any slightest chance to alleviate people's sufferings, you are to it. Because I'm just trying to understand. Okay. That was on Friday, right? Was it Friday when I was going back to Accra? I noticed that most vehicles were veering into a particular filling station to get fuel, and I was curious to find out. So I found out that filling station was selling at the cheapest rate anybody can get anywhere. That was around 800 naira, and then everybody was going to go and get fuel. Now guess what? All the MROS stations in Nigeria, they're not selling petrol at 740 naira per liter. In as much as we don't have plenty of them down here in the south, but we have a couple of them in Anambra State here. Now some other private filling stations owned by IPMAN members, I gather that they have also reduced the price to some extent. Like, I'll mention them. At Enugu, that was on Saturday, or maybe more precisely, I think it was selling for 830 naira at that place. So that tells you that we have seen some reduction in the pump price of petrol. But trust our people, they'll tell you that they'll tell you it's Christmas because we have plenty, we have a good number of persons who are on the road wanting to move from one point to the other, so they have to maximize the opportunity. And my question is, if you have opportunity to help to make Nigeria better, and you're adding to make it worse, so what makes it different from
the government you criticize?
That government that you criticize all the time.
Hypocrisy, I guess.
No, that's exactly what I keep hammering on. If you ask these people who have increased their service price, commodity price, they will tell you, "Oh, Christmas canaba." And how does no Christmas canaba cannot with you hiking your price? And the person will tell you, everybody is doing it, so I will not be the only person who doesn't do it. So what does it mean that if everyone does something, it becomes right because everybody's doing it? And when government comes out on some of these practices, some people will say, "Oh, this government, this government is this government is that." Sometimes we may not need government to reawaken our consciousness. It's something we can tell ourselves. It is wrong. Petroleum pump price is reducing, but transport hike is varying to a height I don't even know. Now, I was speaking to one man, a transporter. He said, "Tell those who are into a airplane to reduce their own first. That even though they started it, that those who come from different parts of the country, those who enter flight, that aviation sector started it even long before now. So why would they hike their service fee? I think to a point where it's over 100%.
Is the man paying the amount of tax that those who operate airlines pay?
Big question.
Even at that, I understand his point. His point is that once we get into November, December, from 200 and something thousand to 400 and something thousand to 500 and something thousand, it is totally unexplained. Because the tax did not even change. If they were paying tax before, the tax did not change in the month of November and December. So what made them to, start all these things? It's not about the aviation sector. It's about everybody. Yes, I understand the aviation sector did something like that, and then the whole people, for you to move from Lagos to Anambra now, 100,000 plus. You are just occupying a space in either in a Sienna bus or something like that. That is outrageous. And when you tell people to come back home, they will tell you, "I will just bring 100,000 and go and give these people," unless it's attached. You know what is attached? No, the point is, it is one mentality we must condemn. It is totally condemnable. It is unjustifiable. Now about December means you have to make every money you did not make during the year. You want to make it in the December.
Now about December means extorting your fellow Nigerians.
That's very wrong. Very wrong. We'll keep preaching. We'll keep talking about this. We'll keep saying it here. So don't come back and then tell us government is this, government is that. But you are doing your own.
And the people who now engineer scarcity. It's well. Let's go to the papers, tell you what the front page is saying. From there, we go into the analysis proper. On the Daily Sun newspaper, we have the Vanguard, we have the Guardian, and the Punch newspaper. First, on the Daily Sun, banner headline here is Mba Kadoso Adeola Barao Wike Lawal Yusuf Otu Makinde Obala Doja Bishop Okonkwo Kuka Galatima Uzodima's wife Igor Rizu. They've won an award for the Sun Newspaper Award 2025, and that's taking up much of the front page. But of course, another one here is hackers using public Wi-Fi to attack accounts. Banks warn, alert bank customers on new internet-related fraud. Why Nigerians pay more for cement than foreign buyers? That's from Dangote. Threatens Kaduna Bizman Kalani Mohammed with 100 billion naira libel suit on page 25. Enugu government, multiple documents, EFCC, police investigations, proof of ownership of Abuja property on page 5.
Okay, so let's look at the headlines we have on the Vanguard newspaper. The banner headline here says, why presidency raised 2026 budget to 58 trillion naira. The story is on page 5. It has a writer who works on details as Nigerians await breakdown. I think initially the budget was projected to be about 54 point something trillion naira, but because they did not factor in the new recruitment that is going to happen into the military and the police, they had to revise this to 57 trillion naira. Then another headline we have here says APCON opening ceremony. You see a picture story there of the video, and one other artist on the front page of Vanguard newspaper. Unprecedented takeover, dynamics, implications of APC's dominance of National Assembly. Check page 5 of Vanguard newspaper. NDLEA nabbs female drug kingpin, seizes 23.5 kg cocaine in children's room. Check page 6 of Vanguard newspaper. Poverty, some ladies now use detergent for hair maintenance. The story is on page 7, and Chisom can speak to us about this. She might tell us how they go about doing this. I don't know.
Something about it killing dandruff and stuff like that.
Oh, is that what it does?
That's what I've heard. I haven't tried.
Okay.
Not interested in trying.
All right. So Lagos ports stakeholders decry mandatory e-collab system. The story is on page 10 of Vanguard newspaper. Other headline says mixed outlook at Christmas. Lower food cost, high livestock prices. The story is on page 21. Remaining 130 abducted Niger pupils released. Check page 32 of Vanguard newspaper. The details about this very release, they are so scanty. All I know is that I went to the page of Bayon and Oga, and I saw a scanty statement he released. Likewise, Sunday Diary, he also released a scanty statement regarding this. So do not know more about the arrangement or how they were released. U-Tide, FCCPC slams transport fare hike as complaints mount. The story is on page 8, as if they read our minds. So because this is what we have been seeing so far. So these are the headlines we have on the front page of Vanguard newspaper.
All right, from the Vanguard, let's go to the Guardian. A banner headline here is Fiscal Indiscipline Fuels Budget Chaos, Governance Gaps on page 2. Tinubu declines assent to Central Gaming Bill on page 30. NIBSS assures H-free e-payment statement or systems amid 384 trillion naira quarterly transactions on page 3. Government targets 2 billion naira savings in 2026 as MDAs go paperless. Nigeria records 33 new Lassa fever cases, 18.2% fatality spike on page 30. Stakeholders condemn reps' refusal to criminalize VIT at primaries on page 5. Tax reform row deepens as civil society demands probe flags concerns on page 6.
This row over the version of the tax laws that was passed and the one that has been in circulation. I don't know. How can we put this in? Because I'm trying to imagine the fact that a law was passed by the National Assembly and gazetted. Then the version that is gazetted is quite different from the version that was passed. So where are we going to where are we going to hold our hands and say, okay, this is where this thing happened? And the funny thing is that the executive is not even talking, because I know that this is an executive bill. So if any alteration must have happened, maybe it happened at that level, and nobody is even talking to tell us what actually happened or even deny that it never happened. It's quite sad. Then another paper we have here this morning is the Punch newspaper. The banner headline, or rather, the headline we have beside the nameplate says Nigeria suffers nearly 1 trillion naira export loss after Trump tariff. I check the story on page 7. Then another headline says military rolls out anti-attack measures for Christmas. The story is on page 45. You might want to read this so that you can get information on how you can keep yourself safe during the festivity. Auditor General flags 288 billion naira INEC spending under Yakubu. The story is on page 9. Guess what? From this very report, they are saying that about 288 billion naira. This amount of money does not have a good explanation on how it was spent. In some of them, award for contracts were awarded under a non-transparent manner. But guess what? If anything is going to come out of this, I doubt, because in Nigeria we do not treat Auditor General's accounts audit, we do not treat it the way it's supposed to be treated, because in democracy, Auditor General's report is like a handbook for transparency. At the end of each year, Auditor General goes to do an audit on the government spending. If there's any way to flag, he flags or she flags it, and then demand that answers be provided. They call it they raise queries on things that are not explainable. But guess what? These things will just end within the within the shores of the lawmakers, either the state lawmaking body or the federal lawmaking body, and nobody gets to answer good questions on how money was mismanaged. Then this headline says PDP crisis, Turaki bloc sends court order to it's not sent, it's 6. PDP crisis, Turaki bloc seeks court order to unseal secretariat. The story is from page 9. Ababio takes Natasha suspension case to Supreme Court. Check page 8 of Punch newspaper. And these are the headlines we have on the front page of the Punch this morning.
And of course, we're going into the analysis proper. To stay with us.
You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
So over the weekend, concerns and reactions trailed reps' refusal to criminalize vote buying at primaries. The likes of the 2023 Labour Party candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, described the House of Representatives' refusal to criminalize vote buying at party primaries as a setback for Nigeria's democracy ahead of the 2027 general elections. He made a post on X, formerly Twitter, and he said it is a cancer of vote buying which continues to undermine the democratic process. He also did say that the decision to not criminalize vote buying at primaries amounts to protecting a dysfunctional political system rather than safeguarding the country's future. Also, over the years, Tony, we've seen records, some in testimony from people who allege that some delegates demand from 500,000 to 2 million to vote for certain candidates. We've also heard allegations of a particular candidate dollarizing primaries. So these allegations are rife. We have not had any convictions in the past. And of course, reps has refused to criminalize it. And so there are possibly no convictions in sight. So let's start with this call. Who made this call for starters? I'd like to know what the motive is, and of course what you think that the gains are going to be for the Nigerian democracy, backing this entire call before the reps decided not to criminalize it.
We know very well that we have been championing, we have been calling for strong legislation that will curb issues about vote buying, vote selling, or vote transaction of any form. But if you look around, the clause in question was something that those who are in for stricter law, especially when it relates to vote buying, vote selling, is agendaed. But the House of Representatives rejected the clause because the clause proposed a 2-year imprisonment with that option of fine for offenders. Their fear, according to some of the things I heard them saying, the law could be abused to harass political opponents. So in their mind, there is tendency, there is proclivity that such law could be abused to harass political offenders. They are not even looking at the offenders. Their concern is the abuse. Sometimes when we have something to address an imbalance, to address problematic situation, to address a system that is totally broken, we concentrate more on the abuse of such law. Every law should set clauses that will guide it from abuse. When we talk about state police, those who are against it will be shouting, the governors will abuse it. And you measure it. The idea of law is that the law must provide certain provisions that will protect the same law from being abused. And that is how strong institutions are built. Because the law makes sure that no single person has overriding power, overreaching power. Once you make a person or an institution to have overriding power over the use of a particular thing, there will be abuse. But situation where you allow checks and balance, not just one person. Somebody cannot do this overridingly without the other institution getting to know more about it, approving it, and without the other institution confirming such. So, and this is not just one person. We are talking about institution. You know, we make laws where a person has overriding power, and being that that person is a person, he's a human being, he will abuse it. When you say that the president shall do this, he's a person. When you say the National Assembly, now National Assembly is now an institution. When you say the judiciary, now judiciary is an institution. So laws are made in such a way that you set out those clauses that will make no single person has overriding power. Now these people are concerned about abuse. We know very well that's not the issue. They are offenders. By default, most politicians offer money. They make budget for vote buying and vote selling. You know, all of them. They cannot swear while on those seats that they have not done same. They have all done that in their preparation, budgeting for the election. They bring money either for consultation, publicity, mobilization. They reel all these things, but they also bring out money for what? Vote buying. Votes or voters inducement.
Sure.
You call it any name. So the issue is that they are all party to this. That's why they were now saying that it will be abused. Forget that what I'm saying. They are not ready to sanitize the audience table. These are people who are not ready to make our democracy to work. They are not ready to strengthen the institution of democracy. And if they continue to do this, it takes us nowhere. For them, it is on your mandate. We all stand. Take your own, and we take our own. Give Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give us what belongs to us. We will support you to be the president. Support us for our own re-election. That's the way they want it. For us, that's not democracy.
And so we have this move for electoral amendments, and one of these things are on the table, and they are treating it this way. You know, it's really sad, Tony. Like you pointed out, most of them are culpable, and that is majorly the reason why they may not want to let this happen. But let's look at, you know, the situation at the, would I call it the long run now? Let's look at how we can truly make our parties less monetized. Our primaries less monetized. All right, because with this being there, and people who vote during the primaries being party members, and of course within party members there are also interests and all of that. Now, if party primaries now has to determine who eventually appears on the ballot, we need to look at how this malpractice should be treated. And I am curious to find out if there is any way, since they are refusing to institutionalize it, what is the way out?
The way out, it seems to be cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac in the sense that it is just an end to the problem or an end to nothing.
How so?
The point is, you cannot effect changes without stricter or tighter legislation. Without political offenders serving or having punishment commensurate to their offenses, you cannot make any headway. Impunity is when I know I'm gonna do this, no matter how wrong it is, and nothing will happen. It emboldens the wrongdoing. That is impunity. And where we are talking about legislation to serve as a deterrent, the idea of legislation, and because it's gonna come with its punishment, and then it will serve as a what? Deterrent for those who would want to engage or indulge in that. And where you have removed that, nothing happens. They are just deceiving themselves. Nothing will work.
So do you now think we should probably take decisions like this away from these legislators? Because this directly is just like a man sitting in court to preside over a case that affects him.
That is just a case.
Out of their purview.
If you decide to take it out of their purview, on what law would you ground such removing it from their purview? On what law? Because the case is, any legislation, they have been told, Constitution has provided for them areas they have jurisdiction, and that is what we call exclusive legislative list. It's only the National Assembly that has jurisdiction on this list, and there are many of them. Last we checked, they were 168. They have removed rail, rail lines, and they have also removed power. It should be about 66 now remaining, or thereabouts. So if you look at it, is still enormous. Then you look at those ones that are under concurrent list, the one they can legislate, and the one the state assembly can also legislate. But where there is a clash, their own takes supremacy. It is there in the constitution. So the issue is not about trying to remove it from their purview, because you don't have grounds for doing that. And that's why I've called for many times, there are things these people will never do, and they will never get into it. Why don't we have a law? If you make a law now that provides for sovereign national conference, in that sovereign national conference, it cannot override constitution. That is one. Secondly, if we can have a gathering where we tell ourselves the truth, let's shelve our political interests. Why we are where we are in this country is because political interests override national interest. It is national interest that we should have a strong legislation that takes care of this party and then election of offenses. But the party interest and then the personal interest and political interest, we override this interest. So we are in a quagmire, we are in coma, and there's nothing we can do about it.
Okay, so Tony, why do we want things to change in Nigeria, but we fail to do the needful, or we fear to take the bulls by the horn, or we fear to, or we shy away from doing what is right, what is supposed to do, that if we do this thing, is going to take care of a problem from the foundation? Why am I saying this? Look at our democracy. You will see that if you are going to trace the problem of leadership we're having, you can trace it to what happens at the party primaries. Because the parties we have known, these parties have run the system of who has the highest, or who has the biggest money, or who spends the most gets to emerge as the candidate of a party. And in most cases, not those who are the most qualified get to emerge as parties' flag bearers. If you begin to look even outside political parties, you will see that this issue of trying to buy vote for any elected position, that is even getting into villages. People are contesting for egoship in their community, and people are going to buy votes. You even go to schools today, you see that contest for school head boy is now based on the amount of money that person garners at the point of doing the campaign. You talk about SUG election, the same thing is happening there now. And even if because we have learned from our politicians, and it's now moving down even to the grassroots, and we have a time, or we have an opportunity for us to deal with this, and lawmakers are shying away from this, maybe because of the fact that they feel that if they're going to make this very law, that many of them are going to be caught up in dates. But what beats my imagination is that these same lawmakers who have failed to do the needful, by tomorrow they will go and contest for one election, and by the time they are rigged out by the virtue of who has the highest amount of money paying his way through, the person comes to the media again to begin to lament that,
or goes to court.
The person begins to lament that the system was rigged against him, that the highest bidder bought the vote. So what is that fear that people have failed to arrest for us to do the needful, if we are going to sanitize this issue of our primaries and what have you not?
The very risk they do not want to take is, in doing this, I may become a victim. If we all are patriotic, altruistic, everybody comes out and know that if we agree on this, I could be affected. I may not come back here. If they are all concerned about forfeiting their seats if they don't have popular vote, if I cannot get the popularity vote, or if I cannot get the votes of my people for me to be here, so be it. But let's make this system work. It's just a decision. Many of them know that they don't have that popularity. They don't have the consent, the mandate of the people. They are here based on the money they have been able to dish out during elections. They are here because they were able to buy votes. If they can say, you know what, I've been here for 4 years, I've been here for 8 years, I've been in the National Assembly, but it is time to change the narrative. It's time for us to say no. And it's one person, let there be advocacy group within the National Assembly. They can form advocacy group that can go on to make such advocacy amongst them. They are liberty to have pressure group, to have advocacy group. They can. Within themselves, they will push for this, telling them themselves or call on their members. See, 1 more 4 years does not what the sufferings Nigerians are facing. Leaders can only be accountable to the people when they know truly that it is only the people that brings them in. They can never be accountable to the people when they know that they can come in without the people. What is accountability? Remember, I've said democracy here is a democracy of none or zero accountability. But democracy, where we copied it from, is a democracy of 100% accountability. And why they are accountable? Because they know that electioneering system, it is too transparent for one to rig it. So that's why if you look at the Labour Party, if you look at the Conservative Party in UK, they are concerned about, we must make certain policies that will make us, if we go out there to ask for votes, people will give us votes. They are concerned about that because they know there is no any form of fraud associated with electioneering.
Because totally, let's look at the responsibility that some of us might not have taken up. I'll call names in this very case. The last Anambra Guba election that we okay, let's go to the primaries. We saw the last Guba election primaries of different parties in Anambra State, and I'm going to single out the APC, for instance. We know how certain big names emerged as aspirant under the APC. Paul Chukuma was there, Valosibo was there, Nicholas Okachuku was there, and so many others, Jumbo Skonu Kwao, and so many others. At the end of the day, we know how the primary went. And basically 2 persons among the aspirants, Paul Chukuma left the party, went to YPP, and continued his campaign. But Valosibo did not leave that very party. He stayed in the party, saying that he was going to go to court to challenge the process because he, according to him, the process wasn't in accordance with the law, and he also alleged that certain steps that needs to be fulfilled in accordance with the APC law was not fulfilled. Okay, were not fulfilled. Now, what I'm looking at is those people who have access, who have means, those people who have tried to test power in different ways and they were rigged out. Why are they not making extra effort, to reach out to their friends at the National Assembly to see how they can articulate these very demands or needs of our democracy, and see how they can channel this in through their friends at the National Assembly to see how we can rescue our democracy? Because for me, I keep on saying it's not enough for you to always release press statement. Go to the social media, make a video, put it out there. You charge us, we Nigerians. You charge us, you stare us. We get into frenzy, and all of us we just react, talk at the same time. At the end of the talking, everybody goes back to their cocoon and begins to rest. Nobody takes the extra mile to do the lobbying, do the articulation, do the advocacy, and talk to those who need to be talked to. Just imagine that there is a coalition of those who have been rigged out from primary election on the virtue of how much was spent, or on the virtue of vote buying. Just imagine that we have that kind of league. Oh, somebody from Anambra State, somebody from Enugu State, and they have about a league of 30 persons, and they make advocacy to different lawmakers, trying to impress it on them on the need for us to deal with this issue of vote buying and a primary, trying to tell them how it's going to benefit them and society at large. So why are we just more comfortable with, let's just talk at the moment? After the talk, nobody does the extra thing, trying to get to the National Assembly to do the needful.
Most of them are looking for short corner to get to where they are going. Nobody's ready to walk. Nobody's ready to labor. They are looking for shortcuts. That's the reason many of them will not sit back and work out something to ensure that things are done properly. Everybody wants to go to heaven without first and foremost dying. We have to die first. Nobody wants to experience death, but they want to be in the heaven. So the point is, they are looking for easy way to get to what others. They are anybody who possibly is being rigged out and then does not want to sit back to work, to fight, to ensure things are done properly, is actually aiming to do what others are doing. He's not going there to serve the people. He's not going there to look at the rot in the system. He's going there to have his own allocation, to have his own overhead costs, to have his own running costs, to have that social status anywhere he goes. We have the honorable member representing Amansi and then Kwansumpo federal constituency in our midst. Shall we rise to work? People like that kind of thing. Or if it's in any occasion you hear we have a distinguished senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Ibama, here with, they like things like that. And then the cheers, the applause from the people, they clap for that is social, and then possibly they go with all manner of security orderlies. They go with they are looking at the things attached to the office. They will have new cars, they will have new house, they will have new everything new. They are not there to serve the people. They are there for their own personal interest. Look at all the attachment to the office, and then look at the social state to the office has also begotten. So it is just that, no more, no less. It is simple truth. They are not there to serve. They are there to even liquidate, appropriate a lot of resources to their offices. So many of them will get these what they call it, zone intervention projects, and monetize it.
So why does this leave us, Tony, as we round off this conversation, in our fight to change the way things are done, to change the system, to reform our electoral system? With refusals like this coming from the only people who are going to sanction it, who are supposed to sanction it, where does that leave this fight? Is there even any green light at the end of this tunnel?
I think there is, because evil tribes, when the good ones sit idly and do nothing, Nigerians can push for this. Even
so
when
can push
they can push for this,
right.
Even when the members of the National Assembly are not interested, Nigerians can besiege them, picket that National Assembly. That's what we want. And when they know that the people want this, they will have to tell themselves the truth. If we don't do this, we may not have what it takes to go back home. Nigerians can demand this from them in organized manner, in a structured manner, in a way that many of them can go home because of the fact that they have been able to do their services. Insecurity has overtaken their places. And that's why they are calling on Mr. President to give them security to travel home. You need security to travel home to where you represent. What does that say? What does that tell you? You are not doing well. Any representative, any senator that needs security to travel home, we know that there are bad ones. There are little bad ones that can come after you. We know whether you are doing good or you're not doing good. But let me say this. With the fear, you can't go home because you have no security. Because if anywhere you go, the good ones that will surround you will even be the guard against the bad ones, because the bad ones will be few. Those who don't like you for no just sake, they are there. But once you are doing good and people know you are in town, the people will become your security.
Just to add, I think we have not mounted enough pressure on our lawmakers, whether at the federal level or state level.
We just ignore them.
When we find space in the media, whether on social media or on the conventional media, what we do is for us to complain. They're not doing this, they're not doing that, they're not doing that. But we have not actually mounted pressure on them. How do I mean by pressure? It's not enough for you to speak in the media. When they call for engagement, what do you talk about? When they have a town hall meeting, what do you talk about? When you have access to them, what do you talk about? I'll give you an instance. I was lucky enough one day to follow somebody to go and see a lawmaker. And guess what? What was being discussed? School fees, employment, pocket money,
the bare minimum,
appointment, all those personal stuffs. Those things were the things people were asking for. Oh, how do I get this? How do I get that? I need a motorcycle. How do I get employment on this? Nobody is asking for anything collective. Nobody is asking him, how many bills did you sponsor in the outgoing year? Nobody is asking the person, did you sponsor a motion on the erosion trying to carry us in this village? Nobody gets to ask this person. Nobody's even asking, how did you vote on a particular bill? People do not do this. We don't go there extra mile to hold into account by asking questions about their conduct.
The right questions. Asking
On that
questions about
platform.
what we sent them to do.
Because when we begin to ask them those two questions, that's when they begin to know that we are aware. But for the fact that once we go to their houses, what we ask for is just personal things, school fees for my children. Actually, they will now know that once they provide these things, they are free to go about doing anything they want. And nobody gets to question them.
All right, then we take a break now, gentlemen. Attend to some commercials. When we come back, we'll be looking at emerging controversies around the tax reform. A lot of Nigerians are still in the dark. They do not understand. And some people are saying, pause this for a while. Let's get some clarity. Keep it locked. Still the Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Uwe izu yoke o. Mana deka nwa afọ Naija nwoke maọbụ nwaanyị ebe ugbu a, ị kwesịrị ime onye na-akpọ gị n'ekwentị. Ohere na-abịa sọ naanị otu ugboro. Mana nke bụ ezigbo ajụjụ dị na ya bụ, ị ga-adịkwa na njikere. Ekwekwala ka ohere ọzọ ganarị. Lee anya otu kọlụ ziri ezi nwere ike ịgbanwe ndụ gị. Tinye Truecaller app n'ekwentị gị tata. Mara onye na-akpọ gị. Hụ na ịtụfughị ohere ịnweta otu kọlụ ahụ nwere ike ịgbanwe ihe niile. Truecaller, za ezigbo oku.
When the city sleeps, the river remembers. When the drums call, Onitsha awakens. This December, the call grows louder as Udala Radio joins forces with the Golibe Festival 2025. From December 26th to New Year's Day, the heartbeat of the East comes alive. Music, laughter, art, culture, and the unstoppable joy of homecoming. Golibe! This year promises more energy, more color, more connection. A festival for every proud son and daughter of Igbo land. Stay tuned to Udala Radio, your front row seat to the celebration that never fades. Golibe! Golibe Festival 2025. Exclusive media support by Udala Radio. It's not just a festival, it's who we are.
Your investment is just one drop. On its own, it can only do so much. Now, imagine 1 million more drops. This is the power of First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund. They pool your money with others to create a powerful flow, giving you access to great earning opportunities. Call 0201-889-4444 now to start with 5,000 Naira, $100 or more. Let us build wealth together. The First Asset Money Market Fund and First Asset Dollar Fund are registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria. Please read the prospectus and where in doubt, consult your investment advisor, stockbroker, fund, or portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor, or any other professional advisor for guidance before subscribing.
Christmas on set like concrete where them just pour. Udala Christmas raffle don't land for Golibe Festival. Hey! Just 1,000 Naira per ticket and you feel like I enter a studio, make you shout your loved one's name live for radio.
I just want to tell my Chalugo say I love her well. My baby, I love you, die.
You want to know how you go take the part of this? It is simple. Just buy your ticket for Golibe Festival ground. Come at open studio and boom, your voice go to fly enter everybody radio. Better things there for ground where you feel win. 43-inch Hisense TV, refrigerator, aux fans, and plenty goodie bags. No dollar. This Udala Christmas raffle draw they happen on the 30th of December 2025. If you want grab your ticket sharp, make you call 0803-350-4206. 0803-350-4206. This Christmas, buy for yourself, buy for your people, because Udala Christmas raffle, everybody gets something inside. Supported by Nolin Ventures Limited, Onitsha.
Golibe, Golibe, Golibe! Onitsha, are you ready? The festival is here. And this year, Kate's Associated Industries Limited, manufacturers of Dubai antiperspirant deodorant, will show up, not just to turn up, but to turn up fresh. December 26th to 31st, Chuba Ikpeazu Stadium will be hot. Street Carnival, Dreamland for children, masquerades, high life nights, full December cruise. But please, do not let enjoyment get you caught on fresh. Get Dubai antiperspirant deodorant, the roll-on that holds the body, holds groove, and hypes December. Golibe Festival, proudly supported by Kate's Associated Industries Limited.
Listen, country people, sudden death full everywhere nowadays due to ignorance. Oh yes, now make Dr. Gospower Idimogo, President and National Coordinator Anti-Drug Abuse Movement, come naked for grounds where say enough is enough. Time don't reach to begin liberate and stop all this stubborn disease. Then when no green man and woman drink water, keep cup. The Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education Program on radio, now to save people life and wipe out all those androgenic and nosocomial chronic diseases them from person body system, either communicable or non-communicable, associated with drug abuse and infection resistance, leading to electromagnetic forces where they scatter brain. They cause organ system failure like liver function, kidney, heart, lungs, ulcer wound, and hypertension to blood lumen blockage. So always join the Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education Program on radio, coordinated by Dr. Gospower Idimogo, Medical Director, Sunshine Integrated Hospital, Onitsha. Phone 08033206819 or WhatsApp 08109114333. Country people, be warned, life no get duplicate.
Join Anti-Drug Abuse Health Education every Wednesday by 8:45 a.m. on Udala Radio 104.7 FM Onitsha.
Merry Christmas from all of us.
Udala Radio
104.7.
Now every Christmas they sweet past. Let's go. Bells they ring for the street tonight. Children they dance under Christmas light. Mama they cook jollof, aroma they rise. Yeah. For they smile, joyfully miles. No no they for body love they warm. Afro be breathing, happiness don't come. Oh. From Onitsha city to every home. Now celebrate each and food is on. It's a Udala Christmas. Oh, oh. Everybody gather make we jollof. It's a Udala Christmas. Oh, oh. Turn up the music, make it go. Udala. Christmas day sweet for Udala Radio. Up the tree, let it shine, let it shine. Love for the season, make we share, make we bind. From morning to night, Udala hold you tight. Now Christmas magic, pure delight. Udala, Udala, Christmas day sweet, oh Udala, Udala, feel the beat, oh. From all of us at Udala Radio.
Merry Christmas, wetalanye angole no bioto. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Udala Radio 104.7 FM, the voice of the region.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
You're listening to the Polity. Get involved now.
Many thanks for keeping it locked. Still the Polity on Udala Radio 104.7 FM. And now we're going to tax reform. Taking this report from the Guardian newspaper, the headline is Tax Reform Row Deepens as Civil Society demands probe flags concerns. The writer's Chisom raises alarm over alleged secret changes to tax laws. Serap urges Tinubu to publish CTCs of tax bills, probe alleged alterations. Hashtag Fix Politics calls for full publication of Nigeria-France tax agreement. Now, fresh pressure from civil society has placed Nigeria's tax reforms under intense scrutiny as allegations of post-legislative tampering prompt calls for transparency, judicially led investigations and disclosure, framing the dispute as a defining moment for democracy, rule of law and governance. The Resource Center for Human Rights and Civic Education condemned what it described as shocking allegations that Nigeria's tax reform bills were altered after being passed by the National Assembly. In a statement signed by the Executive Director of CRISET, Comrade Dr. Ibrahim M. Zikirulahi, the organization said the alleged changes were not the result of clerical errors or misunderstandings, but amounted to an assault on Nigeria's democracy. Tony, I'm pretty sure that you're aware of where this entire thing is coming from. Allegations that what is on the paper and what was passed on the floor of the House are two different things. At the end of the day, this leaves Nigerians in a dilemma. What exactly are we working with? And of course, are there secret clauses that are supposed to punish Nigerians, or for the want of a better word, extort Nigerians, hidden somewhere in this real version that is different from what we initially had? Also, there are reports that there is an agreement with France over this entire tax thingy. A lot of Nigerians are seeking clarity on these issues, Tony.
We know very well that Nigerians are having this fear of the unknown, and because there is no trust in the system, nobody trusts anybody, because the government at different levels, the three governments, they have not been able to build trust with the people, both either the federal, the state, or even the local government. So each time they tell them one thing, they think about another thing. So it has always been a case of Ezena Holindonache. Each time it comes down and tell you, then I go look at the lion and all that. But then they will come out and there will be nothing seen. So they trust as a kind of essential ingredient is totally out of it. It's broken. It's nowhere to be found. If there is trust, Nigerians shouldn't be running like the way they are running now, talking about what will come and what will not come. Nobody knows about it. Since fuel subsidy was removed in the manner it was removed, things have not been the same. The way and manner it was removed, things have not been the same. So it is a case of trust as a commodity. It's nowhere to be found. And there are people who are not sure this believe that the tax law that will be taking effect January 2026 will be meant for this. But then I've gone through the law itself. But I think the clear thing we'll be talking about is some of the things we pointed out. That was last week Friday, where a member of House of Representatives was saying that the things they saw on the gazetted law were not some of the things passed, and we highlighted those things. Power to arrest, power to freeze account, power to do this, that they never legislated on those things. It was not part of the legislation. How come these things were added? And I've always said, any law made where an individual or an institution takes overriding power to do and undo without recourse to court, because the court is there to serve as a moderator. Yes, there are punishments meted out. See, I have made this point very known to people. If law prescribe punishment, those punishments will not be automatically activated. You must approach court that this person has defied this and these are punishments the person should, or the court will say, I agree with you. Like I have said it many times, that those that will make law, there is no urination here. If you urinate, you will pay how much? That's what we usually say. Yeah. No, there is no urination here. If you urinate, you pay 10,000, right? And somebody goes there to urinate, and you go on to arrest the person, and you hold the person at his waist. Give me 10,000. You ask, the person will ask you, why would I give you 10,000? Didn't you see it is written there? No urination. If you urinate, you pay 10,000. So give us a 10,000. No, it doesn't work that way. When you arrest the person, you take the person to what? To court. When you get to court, you let the court know there is a legislation, competent court for that issue. There is a legislation that this person urinated at that spot, and there is a law that says if you urinate, you will pay 10,000. So we have evidence that he urinated, and the punishment prescribed for such urination is 20,000 or 10,000. The court will look at evidence, having looked at your evidence, and the court will agree with you and ask the person to make payment, otherwise be remanded in prison. So that is the way it works. It is not you where it is written that you have to make this payment. Then once the person fails to make that, you arrest and put the person in the police cell. You go and make the payment, or you make the payment. It doesn't work that way.
Okay, so Tony, with the traction this thing is gaining, I'm becoming very worried. We know that in the wake of the passage of these very tax reform bills, there were different information out there in the media, whether in the conventional or the in social media. In fact, there were several things. People said all manner of things, how banks are going to confiscate the account, do this, do. But plenty misinformation was out there. Guess what? Oyedele was almost on the media every day trying to explain, trying to dispel those misinformation. But guess what? Ever since this issue of alteration came up, ever since Dasuki mentioned it on the floor of the House of Reps, neither the presidency has spoken to this thing, Senate has not spoken, or Idele has not spoken. So does that suggest that there's a complicity, that actually there was an executive alteration,
conspiratory silence
of the bill which was passed by the National Assembly, because there is one area that they felt that was not covered, which is the thing that they need, that is going to help them in doing whatever they want to do? Because for what we are told that this very tax reform bill is going to help us to bring a change in the way taxes are administered. It's going to bring money to the government, at the same time help us to sanitize everything, that Nigerians should not be worried about anything. They said those who are earning below 800,000 annually are going to be exempted. Then there's going to be this progressive tax system, what have you not. Plenty good things were said about these very tax reform bills. And some Nigerians were trying to buy into that, saying maybe let's see how it's going to happen. But now we are getting this like as if things are being splashed on our face and nobody is talking. Now the first thing is this: should Nigerians be worried that government might have an ulterior motive? Perhaps that's why we're having these alteration allegations that have not been addressed. That's number one. Now you now look at other things. Had it been that nobody was vigilant, or had it been that no lawmakers or some lawmakers were not vigilant, to have said, okay, let's even study what was gazetted and what was passed, and everybody went to bed, and the government begins to implement these tax reform bills by January 1st, 2026, and maybe somebody feels that I think my right is being trampled upon, or I think government is doing what is not contained in the law, and the person goes to court only for you to find out that the copy you have is different from the government gazetted. So where is this coming from? Now we have seen the Speaker of the House of Reps saying that, or rather putting up a committee to investigate this. Is it going to end at the investigation? If eventually they get to investigate and find out that there was alteration, what happens? Are we going to identify those who are responsible for alteration, or we just sweep it under the carpet and they continue as if nothing happened? Because with what is happening now, I must say that the confidence of Nigerians on the government must be at the lowest ebb at this point in time.
You've pointed out quite a lot of things, and it boils down to the issue of trust, the issue of suspicion, the issue of what was seen and was not. I think Oyedele was on different fora educating people on this issue of tax, but at this point now he's no more talking. But we are told that the ministry that made that publication, the Ministry of Information, right, we are told was the one that made such publication that published what certain things that were not in any way found in that very said law. So it is very disheartening, and then it's also disturbing and concerning as well that such kind of thing will be spotted out and without anybody making statement. It was only House of Representatives, because it was there that the member I think that's Suki who pointed it out, and then the speaker now said that it will be investigated. And we had thought by now the chairman of the committee on tax reform, Oyedele, should be speaking to those things pointed out. And even the presidency should also be speaking. And I've said it many times that with the way things are going, many Nigerians are not storing this suspicion that it could be used for this, it could be used for that. We know that many people are not paying tax, there's no doubt. And somebody was more like, EX, we are told it's going to be progressive if you have any turnover that is not more than 800,000. You are tax exempt. That means you are going to pay nothing. But if your turnover is from 800 possibly to 3 million, you are going to pay 15%. And that 15% will be on profit, not on your turnover. If you have a turnover, maybe I will use anything as an example, that you run, let's say you run a fast food joint, and you look around, in a year you have a turnover of, let's say your turnover in a year becomes 12 million, 50 million. Turnover means the total sales. You must prepare profit and loss account. That's what the law entails. Profit and loss account is where you look at your cost of operation, overhead cost, raw material, all the costs. You subtract it from the total sales made. And then you also put in issue of depreciation and every other things. What is left becomes a profit, and it is that a profit that 15% will be taxed. If the turnover is between 3 million or possibly around from 3 million to 12 million or thereabout, in that law. So what is taxed is profit, not capital, not turnover, not total sales made. It's profit. That's what is taxed. That is there in the law, in the new tax law, which I've cited. But people think that what is taxed is once such amount of money is found in your account. Oh, it becomes, and one would ask, how do you know the turnover? How do you know? Because not every money found in somebody's account is part of the sales. So that is why you must prepare profit and loss account, but you will be asked to do that. They will not do it for you. You'll be asked to do, if you don't know how to do it, you call maybe a tax consultant who helps you prepare it. And once you do it, you file it. Once you file it, the profit will be taxed. These calculations will be made. You'll be asked, this is how much you're going to pay based on what you prepared. Nobody is going to touch any money in your account. Nobody is going to do that, because money in your account, nobody understands how it came in, from which source it came in, what it was for, and what it's not for. So nobody is going to touch it. Money can only be, deductions can only be made when such account has been prepared.
So Tony, what you just explained now is the true set of things. If we're going to go by what the law provides, this is what it is, and this is what it should be.
Which of the laws? The one gazetted?
The law that was passed. Because that law, before it was passed, it was heavily debated. We know how it divided Nigeria along north and south. Before they began their consultations and engagements, at the end of the day, they were able to find a middle ground, and then that's okay, go ahead and pass the law. And it was passed. And we're not going back to almost similar things that we had initially. Now look at what Tony explained. Because the normal thing is that, based on what the law provides, is that your income is what is going to be taxed. And when we talk about income, like somebody who is on a paid job, your income that's what is going to be taxed. Maybe if your salary in a month, it has this very breakdown. This allowance is for feeding, this is for transport. So your basic salary becomes what is going to be tax.
And give me a second. I think Oyedele also at a point explained that even the percentage amounts to certain amounts.
Exactly. There's amount of money you'll be earning in a month. It could be 15%. Yes. It could be 20. It could be 25, depending on the amount of money you're getting.
It could be 30. From 800,000 and above is 30,000.
Exactly. But
30%. Sorry.
With the way things are going now, and we're having concerns about what was passed and what was gazetted, can we in Nigeria still believe government that this tax of a thing that is going to take place by January is not going to hold us down? Because for now, I'm beginning to think twice. They told us that if you do POS transfer, it's not going to be taxed. If you do this, it's not going to be taxed. But with what is playing out now, I'm having several data about the sincerity of peoples with which government is going to go ahead to execute or implement this very tax law.
Talking about implementation, Tony, this link with France, what do you make of it?
The link with what?
France. There are some reports that Nigeria is partnering France on implementation of this law.
I don't. When you talk about, there are some reports. You have to verify the source of the report.
Well,
that's why I said allegations. Let me read out.
It's been confirmed by the government. They said they signed an MOU with French, with the French agency that is responsible for tax in that very country. Now they want to borrow their consultancy, their expertise. That they have this expertise in tax management. That's what they want to borrow and see how we're going to run our own. But Nigerians have concern about the possibility that people's data, personal information can be leaked to a foreign partner. And in that very case, there could be this issue of lack of sovereignty on personal information.
And also, according to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, this MOU that was signed is intended to support technical cooperation, capacity building, digital transformation within the Nigerian taxing system. But then Nigerians are asking that the full memorandum of understanding is published, so much so that they have, a detailed breakdown, word for word, of what these agreements entered have become.
I think there's nothing wrong in maybe bringing in an expert who helps you with their software, who helps you with their technology, on how you are going to improve what you have. Not that those people will be here to do the work. No, I think it's all about borrowing their expertise in area of technology, in area of tax management, and so many things like that. And so it's a non-issue. It's just like contracting them or partnering with them in that area where they bring in technology and things like that. But on the issue of doing the whole work here, Nigerians, first we have the law. The law says that there should be joint revenue board, and I think it's establishment law for that matter, and also there will be other revenue house. Is no more Federal Inland Revenue Service. So we have what are contained in the laws. There are things we have in the law, so it will be followed judiciously. What the debate now is what was gazetted and what was passed. The discrepancy, how to reconcile this, because it must be reconciled before this thing takes effect. Because if the House bring in what they approve or what they legislated on, and then what was gazetted, so it means that the one Mr. President assented is what was gazetted. So, but that may not be what was passed. So Mr. President couldn't have assented to what was gazette. In fact, what was another version of what as they felt was what was passed. They must reconcile this. We don't need this gray area. They have to reconcile these things. At least we have some week, maybe a week plus to next year.
22nd,
so
absolutely.
they have to reconcile these things. They have to.
All right, we take another break now. Attend to some commercials. When we come back, we'd open up the phone lines. And Tony, quickly, on the return of the remaining 130 students that were kidnapped in Niger State, do you have anything to say?
It's just a business, as I've always said. On the return, most times when we hear that these students have returned, nobody tells us if there was negotiation or if there was none. And we know for sure that they cannot just return without anything parting ways. They cannot. Something was given. Nobody is disclosing this. Nobody is disclosing this. So for us, we are happy that they have returned, because let not be that we are having these dark hearts. You are not even happy they have returned. You are questioning their modus or the modus operandi to which they return. No. The truth is that it's good they have returned. But giving money to these bandits, to these terrorists, is a way of expanding their scope, expanding their territory, expanding whatever they do, because they will still come back again and take another tranche, and they go and give them money again. So you are building terrorism. You are building terrorism. We must
funding.
I have always said many times, if you don't have a strong legislation, stricter one, that outrightly forbids any form of negotiation can be done, but it must be traced. Maybe if they hold some captives where if you don't give them money, they are going to kill them off, you may bring in something marked. Not that you are giving them that. You may mark the money. The idea is so that they will not kill. Once they release, you go after them. How many of these terrorists have you seen being arrested? Anytime you hear that these children, school girls, or many of them, that they have returned, why don't we also hear that the bandits who have abducted them or kidnapped them were also arrested? We don't hear that one. what we hear is return. Anytime we hear the school girls have returned without the bandits being arrested, money went in. There was negotiation. The only time we believe there is no negotiation is when these school girls come back and the bandits arrested. We know there is no negotiation. If it's just the other way around, there is negotiation, and it does not help the system.
Doesn't help the system. Really sad. We take a break now, attend to some commercials. When we come back, you can join the conversation. Keep it locked.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, for your family breakfast. Wendy's bread, I'll pack it and they do yellow. Wendy's bread, mama, papa, they like Wendy's bread, kitchen and do. Wendy's bread, even children, they like Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, Wendy's bread, you get it better, tasty, we go sweet your belly. Wendy's bread, Wendy's your body,
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, Second Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tandy Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread. From the streets of Lagos to the heart of Anambra, the rhythm returns home. This December 28th, Oka will breathe in rhythm and shine in gold. Lagos Jump Off 3.0, the homecoming edition, featuring Annie Dons Onyetaka, Ilblaze Jarek, Mr. Raw, Slow Dog, Charles Okocha, PB Ninja, Ivata, Diamond Okechi, Eaglet Davidson, Casey Kubana, MC Monica, Abwefi I Go Talk, Slim Sherry, Waga, Ejai Kwamba, Go2 Onitsha, Hype Man Extraordinary, Harry B, Hype AO Machine, DJ Fresh Omen, DJ Alonso, DJ Spin Daddy, DJ Factor, DJ Fabuloso, VVIP table 3 million naira, VIP table 2 million naira, regular table 1 million naira, cocktail table 300,000 naira, standalone or walking guest 150,000 naira. For reservation and inquiries, do call 0913-484-4336 or +1970-258-0990. Lagos Jump Off 3.0, the homecoming, December 28th, Anambra State. This event is proudly packaged by CNN Entertainment. Be there.
When you think of roofing, think of strength. When you think of durability, think of beauty. And when you think of all three combined, think Best Aluminium MFG Limited. At Best Aluminium, we don't just manufacture roofing sheets. We create protection, comfort, and style for your home and business. Whether you're building from scratch or repairing an old roof, we have exactly what you need. Our products include stone-coated roofing sheets, aluminum roofing sheets, and colored roofing sheets. But that's not all. We also offer residential and commercial roofing services, roof repairs, gutters, emergency roofing services, and even durable cookwares that bring quality to your kitchen. Visit us today at 30/32 Anyika Street, Awada Obosi, Anambra State, or call us right now on 0806-416-2374 or 0706-059-6203. With Best Aluminium, you're investing in peace of mind, in beauty, and in the future of your home. Because when it comes to roofing, the best choice is always Best Aluminium MFG Limited. Tomorrow's technology today. Public notice. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo, CFR, has set up an ESCO committee for the recovery of all government land at Otumoye Creek, Onitsha, in Onitsha South local government area of Anambra State. All persons purportedly laying claim to all those parcels or plots of land located at Otumoye Creek, Onitsha, are by this notice requested to submit the following documents to the Office of the Commissioner for Lands. 1. Allocation letter. 2. Certificate of occupancy. 3. building plan approval, and 4. Any other relevant documents conferring ownership of such plots of land to the individual. All documents are to be submitted in 2 sets within 14 working days from the date this notice was first published. No submission will be received or attended to after the expiration of the said 14 working days. Signed, Mrs. Nkiru Mokwe, Esquire, Permanent Secretary for Commissioner for Lands.
Ụbọchị dum jupụtara n'ọtụtụ ihe omume mana ego gị nọ nkịtị ebe ọ dị. Ọ bụrụkwanụ na nrụsị ọrụ ike dịka ị na-eme kwụsịlata n'oge a mee ka ego gị rọrụ gị ọrụ sonye n'amụma First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund ma nweghachita ihe dị mma jiri naanị $500 $100 wee malite ngwakpọ akara 0806-494-5838 ka ịmalite ịmụba ego gị ka anyị gbakọ akụrụba anyị ọnụ. Edebanyere aha First Asset Money Market Fund na First Asset Dollar Fund n'akwụkwọ ụlọ ọrụ Securities and Exchange Commission Nigeria. Biko gwa akwụkwọ mgbazi oluso ya ma ebe ọbụla ị na-enwe obi abụọ kpọtụrụ onye investment advisor, stock broker, fund maọbụ portfolio manager, accountant, banker, solicitor maọbụ onye ọzọ ma ihe a na-akọ ka o duzie gị tupu ịmalite.
Are you ready to live above sin? Are you ready to walk in victory? It is Able Evangelical Mission presents the International Holiness and Power Camp Meeting December 2025. Theme: More than Conquerors in Christ. Romans chapter 8 verse 37. Ministry: Pastor Olufemi Olukoya and other anointed servants of God. Come and connect yourself to Jesus Christ. Become a genuine child of God. Receive power for holy living. Receive the fire of the Holy Ghost. Be healed from sickness. Be delivered from satanic bondage and prepared for the second coming of Jesus. Date: Wednesday, December 24th, 2025. The camp opens at 6 p.m. and runs till Sunday, December 28th, 2025. Venue: it is Able Evangelical Mission Testimony Ground, Savoy Junction, Oka Road, Onitsha, and Rivers Campground. It is Able Evangelical Mission Spirit and Life Power Ground, Kilometer 6 East West Road, Port Harcourt, Rivers State. In Christ, you are more than a conqueror. It is Able Evangelical Mission. Jesus is Lord.
Christmas is already here, and it's always that time of the year that I look forward to. Everybody looks forward to. You get to see your family and friends that you haven't seen in a while, and you also get to eat good food.
Christmas don't come, see the joy where they rise. Children they laugh, sparkle full their eyes. Market they shine, every street they glow. Spread the love we know. Families gotta share a light and cheer. December spirit don't finally appear. Hope and blessings everywhere we go. The season's sweet like never before. It's a Udala Christmas, joy everywhere. Turn up your radio, love fill the air.
Ekeresimesi a wetala anyị aṅụrị na obi ụtọ. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year from all of us at Udala Radio 104.7 FM, the voice of the region.
You're listening to The Polity. Get involved now.
Get involved by putting a call across to 0803-221-6973, 0803-827-6694. Those are the numbers for you to call. Be as objective as possible. You'll have a minute 30 seconds. You can also drop a comment on Facebook at Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, my chief speaker, Olisa Mbeki.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Franklin, good morning. I want to use this opportunity to wish all our listeners and the members of this Udala Radio happy Christmas in advance and happy Christmas in advance in Jesus' name. Amen. Yes, I want to speak on this issue of tax. I don't know the reason why every day we woke up to hear something that will bring more stress and more hardship to the Nigerian as a whole. We have not woke up in the morning to hear that Nigeria has made it improved, that will benefit the innocent citizens of Nigeria. Only the bring us. This tax issue is what we need now at the situation of this hardship in Nigeria. I mean, okay, now they are not coming with it with a clean heart. You see what the House representatives said, that what they will sign is not what they are telling us. That is by the way. May God help us. Then, I want to also talk about this security issue. I have said it and I will continue to say it. That this issue of kidnapping in this country, that government, the top government officials, most of them know about it. Now they have told us that the remaining abducted children have been released. Glory be to God, thank God for them. But did they tell us that they have conduit with either the security, Nigerian security, they are released, or like Tony Olisa Mbeki said, the money that was given to them, because we know that the money that was given to them can be betrayed. So I know these people are just doing their business and I'm tired of this. God bless you all.
All right then. Good morning.
Comrade, I'm calling from Onitsha.
Go ahead.
Can I go on?
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. Let me begin with, our people action against our people in this European. You mentioned the stations, some are selling different prices, others are selling different prices. And at the end of the day, we blame ourselves. Let me tell you the truth. If to create such a loophole, people will manipulate it. People, human beings are naturally. That is why I keep condemning the government for every actions of the people within their territory. Because, let me use for instance, all this petroleum they say. We have regulatory agents that ensures strict compliance to stipulated prices. So if you allow people to sell at any amount, then people will be poised to do that. When you know that the system is porous, you can do anything. So it is applicable to every human being. Even all these westerners we use as an example. The only reason why their presidents or their political office holders behave themselves well because the system will never allow them to manipulate or to steal. So when you create such an environment, people can tend to do that, and you don't have to blame anybody for that. Away from that, going to the tax. Brother Ahmed Tinubu has been a tax master since all his life. He removed the free subsidy. Who are the people you are taxing? Is it the people that do for themselves? You see how you see the rate. So that power distribution. So that is, slice it down. People are providing for themselves. Electricity, education, private sectors have taken over education. So, health sector, private sector have taken over health. So why are you not asking the people after removing free subsidy? That is my problem.
All right.
The government, I want this government to actually this tax force should be waived out.
All right, thank you.
All
right.
Good morning.
Good morning. 0803-221-6973, 0803-827-6694. Have your say. Hello, good morning. Hello there.
Good morning, Udala FM.
Good morning.
My name is Philip Chinesi. I'm calling from Boko.
Let's hear you feel it.
Yeah, let me go to the side of pump petrol price. Dangote selling that. Seems like Nigeria clapping for Dangote. But I can see that as a complete wayo. Those people at the top side doing to the masses. It's a crazy that in this country of Nigeria that we are selling a liter of fuel 200 naira. It's a crazy. Talking about 500 naira, 700 naira. Seems like some of us are clapping. We are in a corrupt society. But I pity for the NLC. I can say that the NLC contributes to our problem. Seems like we don't have civil servants in this very country. Because if we have a civil servant, called civil servant in this very country, yeah, we will have a control price, whatever, whether you are selling or you.
But civil servants are not saddled with the responsibility of price control or regulation.
Believe me, my sister, civil servants have a free, that they have 100% contribution to the masses.
I said they do not control. So what you mean is by civil servants probably.
To this country.
Oh, okay. Thank you for your contribution.
Liter of fuel 200 naira, chocolate for 500 naira. Good luck. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Chidi Chukuma joining you from Bo.
Go ahead, Chidi.
Dr. Olisa Mbeki and the Franklin. Very good morning to you. Yes. Talking of the number of the students. The Niger, the Catholic students that have returned. It is a very cheering news. But my only worry is that from the report from the Christian Association of Nigeria and the parents, that most of those students are still at the large. And we remember the report from the Chibok, even as we speak today, most of the students from Chibok and the Sanchi students, some of them have not returned up to this moment. So we don't want to see another report of some students still missing. And within a very short time, the government will just forget about those students. We don't know their situation, whether they are alive or whether they have been sold off. So it is a very worrying situation that the government can never tell the people the real thing. And our journalists, they have to wake up to just expose something that most of the time the government tries to cover up. They have to expose them because they have, we know their position as fourth state of the ring. They just have to wake up. And on the issue of price difference, yes, Dangote should not deceive us. I have never seen where a monopoly standing for the progress of the people or standing for the public. We know it's an incident and it's just like they want to control the whole thing, the production and the market itself, and also the distribution as a monopoly. So all this bringing the price low is just to deceive us, because at the end of the whole thing, it will turn around and descend heavily on the consumers. So we have to resist it. Good morning.
All right. Good morning to you. Let's hear what you have to say. Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Chisom.
Good morning.
Good morning, my honorable speaker, Tony Becker.
You're welcome.
I'm Franklin. This is the voice of Chisom from other chief kingdom. But I'm calling from you now. You see, instead of saying before, I'm happy that those that children are back. But which way? They school by force, or ransom was ransom paid. If ransom was paid, we are not doing us good. Because we are just fueling this terrorists. We are engineering them by doing all those things. This is Nigeria for you. Coming to the issue of this petroleum issue and the Nigerians, their character, anytime they are
like Christmas or Easter, all those things. They would like to profiteer it. And that is the nation that always profiteer in everything. Use everything to make money. I don't know why. Even if they tax force, they are sending those tax force to make more money. Because when they go there, they keep the first sentence will keep them. And I like to sell it whatever they like. I thought they see the thing at midnight, 12 o'clock. They didn't put that time. So there's no way we can do this. I'll get better unless God will help us. We have physician people
Right.
in the city. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. One more call and we head over to Facebook. Good morning.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
My speaker, I so much happy with the way you explain everything today. This is Akamere.
Go ahead, Akamere.
And Akamere is calling from Figi.
Let's hear you.
Okay, let me just react on this adopted student that was released. My speaker, you have said it all. You know, look at the way they told us that these people have been released. But the negotiation and what has happened, they didn't even tell us. This out, you know, for us to know that this government is based on falsehood and lie. Because how can you tell us that these people who came out on social media videos telling those children that their government cannot save them, their government cannot even come where they are and rescue them, and you are telling us that these people just release these children without any negotiation, and we should believe you that these people have just come out and just release them like that, and all the effort they made, all the shooting, all the gun they wasted, all the bullet they wasted in kidnapping these children, and they just waste it like that and leave these children like this. All these things that, you know, we are not keen. But let them keep on doing it because we are still promoting these people. Because whatever they did in secret, they knew that they gave them money and they will still do something. After they have, you know, exhausted the one they give to them, they will still come and attack again. I want to just react again on this, you know, Xmas something happening this side. That when Xmas came, you will discover that our people just would like to increase everything. I think this is wickedness. It's not celebrating Xmas. It's wickedness. I asked one Teke man. I asked him, the fuel is going down. Why are you people increasing your pay? He said we are doing Christmas. So which kind of Christmas is that? Christmas is telling us that you should just go to the less privileged and help them. And you are telling us they are doing Christmas and you want to stop people. This is wickedness. Thank you.
All right, then let's head over to Facebook, gentlemen.
Okay, so from our Facebook page, we have Jose Nyebuchi saying, vote buying has become the cancer eating up political system. May God help us. Retract Obia Wikechku Christopher, watching from College of Education in Suba. He says the journey to deepen democracy in Nigeria has hit the rock and may not recover anytime soon. It is clear that the politicians are the real enemies of the average masses. Why are they afraid of the laws that will affect them mostly? If it's a law for a common man, they will go extra mile on it. The same way they are soft on looters or public treasures. If vote buying is not criminalized, beginning from party primaries, then the choice of candidates will be for the highest bidder, which we all saw in the last Anambra election. Ugochukwu Frank says, why would they criminalize vote buying when they are all complicit and beneficiaries of the system? The parliament of any country, once compromised, will be difficult to create pro-people enabling laws. Rather, they will strive to protect their selfish interests or serve their paymaster. Also, Francis Omaganamani, watching from Amagunze in Enugu State, says, our government should do everything possible to provide a sustainable security in order to ensure a hit-free Christmas festivity. Dr. Mrs. Lebera from Owerri says Christmas will make sense if we use the period for meditation and evaluation of our activities for the year and give gratitude to God for His blessings, favor, love, guidance, and protections. We should allow the birth of Jesus Christ to transform our lives so that it will be meaningful to us. Celebrating him is not enough, but having a personal relationship is the most important. Let's use this Christmas to seek God and draw closer to him. Then Udala Aloysius says, it is good these children were rescued and returned to join their various parents. The question remains how many bandits were arrested in the process or killed. Still, there is no information or update. It is better they continue doing their usual business and stop disturbing Nigerians with news of rescue and not arrest and not arrest or killing of those responsible. He is watching from Mwaba now. Moses Chukumanjo, is watching from. Oh, thank you for following us. As a Hilary says, Allah bless Ahmed Gumi boys for the reason of the pupils, teachers after a successful ransom. And he said at least they will celebrate Christmas with their loved ones. Okay. He goes on to add that Nigeria has suffered enough from these self-centered politicians, from NIN, cashless policy, fuel subsidy removal, and now they want to tax us. The masses are targeting the. I'm trying to put what you wrote together. So I have to skip this now. If we have time, we can get back to it. But for now, I have to end the reactions on our Facebook page at this point.
All right, gentlemen. Tony, what are your final words? We are rounding off the conversation today.
I think, just like I have always said, trust is a scarce commodity between the government and the governed, and trust is something being built. I would advise government to, most times, spill out the truth. If not for anything, build that trust. Use it to build trust. It might not really be good on the side of government, but you have to. If when you keep saying the truth, people verify and find that you are saying the truth, before you know it, they will start believing whatever comes out from you. Every time it's not about to manage the image of government. Yes, in this issue of kidnapping, if there was negotiation, you could come out and say, yes, there was, but the intention was for this. Clear it, and always open yourself up for criticism. Government should learn how to accommodate criticism. It's through constructive criticism that government make the right and best decisions, or even review decisions made before now. Any government who does not like criticism may not go far. So accommodate criticisms, allow it, but not. There is what we call very unconstructive and then annoying criticism. But we must desist from that as people. Our criticism should be constructive, the one that will make government to work properly, to work harder, and put them in their right step and right tools.
All right, thank you, Tony, for your analysis.
Yes, Tony, before you go, Dele Oyewole, he was on TV today trying to explain what happened, but as it stands now, he has not been able to give us that convincing explanation.
The question?
His answers for now are vague. He was on TV this very morning. Then somebody said that it's a shame that Nigeria is receiving selling petrol at 200 naira. How much more 720 naira? Maybe when we come tomorrow, we'll look at this so that we'll be able to do this comparison analysis, because I have checked. The cheapest fuel in the world now is at Venezuela, where they sell about $0.3 per liter. And if you do the translation, it's around that 300 naira. But in that Venezuela, government subsidizes the cost of petrol. If you go to UAE, the cost in UAE is more than what is being sold in Nigeria.
I will explain maybe by tomorrow, frankly.
Gentlemen.
We'll look at the raw petrol, a liter. What's the cost of raw petrol? What's the cost of yeah, that's crude. The raw one, when you refine it, the cost of refining a liter, and then the taxes involved, and then the profit the person is supposed to make, and then we arrive at
the pricing.
So that we now know whether it's possible to sell a liter of petrol at 200 naira in Nigeria or not.
All right then. Thank you, Franklin, for being here. The Polity is going to make a return tomorrow, 9:15 a.m. down to 11 a.m. Until then, do your best as a Nigerian to get the Nigeria that you and I desire. See you tomorrow. I am Chisom Chinedu. Good morning.
You're listening to Udala Radio 104.7 FM. Seriously authentic.
When the city sleeps, the river remembers. When the drums call, Onitsha awakens.